So most of us here at IIM Bangalore have been consistent achievers, at least in some domain or the other, for all our lives. But some time at IIM Bangalore is good enough to make you feel that you are not good enough. So how do you deal with the pressure of being relatively average?
It's best somebody makes you feel that right here, because anyway that may happen in your life. It can happen in your work, it can happen in your family. Somebody will tell you you're not good enough So whether they tell you or not, I want you to understand, none of us are ever really good enough. If you have a large-scale intention in the world, you are never really good enough. People keep telling me, Sadhguru, you've done so many things, this project, that project. I'll tell you my project, because day before yesterday I was at Chamandi Hill. This happened 37 years ago. I went up Chamandi Hill and sat there. For no reason, I was overflowing with ecstasy, every cell in my body exploding. I didn't know what was happening. When I spoke to my closest friends, they said, tell me, what did you drink, what did you pop? This is the only thing they could ask. When I asked my own skeptical mind, my mind said, maybe you're going off the rocker. But I knew I've hit a gold mine. Something fantastic is happening within me without any reason. If I simply sit like this, I become so ecstatic, what I think is 2 minutes have gone into 7, 8 hours. Have you noticed this? When you're very happy, time just poof. So if I close my eyes and open, it's like 8, 10 hours are gone, like that. So at that time, I just planned, this is my plan. This is fantastic, if I simply sit here, I'm completely blissed out. Then I decided, at that time, the world's population was some 5.6 billion people. I said, in 2.5 years' time, I made a plan, a specific plan, how I will do it. In 2.5 years' time, I'm going to have the entire world blissed out because it doesn't take anything. If you simply sit here, it happens. Well, 37 years, Well, we might have touched maybe on 500, 600 million people on the planet, but that's not my idea of the world. My idea of the world today is 7.6 billion people. So I know I will die a failure, 100%. And everything else that I wish to do, I know I will not even fulfill probably 10–15% of what I want to do, but I will die blissfully, because I'm living blissfully and I will die blissfully. So it's best that you're a failure in your life. That means your vision is large. If you're a success, you have a constipated sense of life. Success means what? I made it. What did you make? I bought a house site. You think that's an achievement? I got a job, I made this much money. This is a very constipated way of looking at life. I want young people to look at it in terms of how we can do something that cannot be done in this lifetime. Oh, what will happen if I don't fulfill it? If you work incessantly and still at the end of your life the job is not done, it doesn't mean you're a failure, it means you had a great vision. That's what it means. May you die as a failure, is that okay? Yeah, you should. Blissed out failure, that means you're doing great, not a miserable success. People are not liking it, I think. No, you don't have to clap. I just thought maybe those words are a little scary, failure.
Sadhguruji, my next question is, today, unfortunately, we're all living in a very stressful environment and with…
Really? I think it's air-conditioned, everything is fine. Little more cooling would be nice, but it's not stressful.
Some people perceive it to be, I'll rephrase, some people perceive it to be stressful and you at times feel a little anxious or you feel depressed. But most often, I think the first battle is within yourself to identify that. And in that scenario, how do you reach out and not feel vulnerable about it, that you are stressed and
So stress is not about any situation or atmosphere. Stress is your inability to handle your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own chemistry, your own energy. Stress is not about the situation. One situation that somebody thinks is stressful, another person is breezing through that situation. Is it not happening? You see bad drivers are going like this, cursing everybody. You'll see a young boy, boom, he just goes off. He's not stressful, he's very happy for all the obstacles that are there in Bangalore city. Yes or no? So stress is not a consequence of situations. Stress is a consequence of your inability to manage your own thought and emotion. Your thought and emotion must happen the way you want it, isn't it so? If this one thing happened, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? 100%, isn't it? So instead of doing that, you're trying to manage the entire world the way you want it. It's never going to happen. Never ever going to happen. Even if you are a family of two, it's not going to happen. Yes? Most of you are not married. I'm saying even if it's just two people at home, it will never happen 100% your way, unless you're living with a dead person. 51% if it happens your way, you have the controlling stake, you must be happy. 100%, nobody will live with you, isn't it? Nobody will work for you, nobody will live with you, nobody will be around you if you insist 100% my way. I'm glad the world is not happening your way, because if everything happened your way, where will I go? Little bit your way, little bit my way, little bit somebody else's way, this is how the world should be. But this one must happen my way. There's no other way for this one. This one must happen my way. If this one person happened your way, you think you'll be stressful?